Okay, so let's take a look at number 5 here in the packet. So number 5 is an interesting problem. It's talking about baseball this time. So it says here, as of 2007, the New York Yankees has won more Major League Baseball World Series than any other team. In fact, the Yankees have won one fewer and 3 times the number of the World Series by the Oakland A's. The sum of the two teams' World Series championship is 35. How many times has each team won the World Series? So let's figure out what this question's asking for. So this question is asking for how many times has each team won? So in this case, I want to know the number of times or the number of winnings in each team. So let's make our 2 unknown variables. So our 2 unknown in this case is, that's a highlighter, my bad. Let's erase that. Grab my pen. So let X in this case be the winnings of the New York Yankees. So I'm going to abbreviate. So New York Yankees wins. So the number of wins for New York Yankees. Y is going to be the number of wins for the Oakland A's wins. Okay, now that we have our variables defined, we want to write an equation for this story. So let's go back and see what information might be important. So grabbing my highlighter, let's look at the first sentence again. The New York Yankees has won more than the Major League Baseball series and other team. In fact, the Yankees has won, so probably maybe not highlight this part here, but highlighting this part. So the Yankees have won one fewer than 3 times the number of the World Series won by the Oaklands. So in this case, if Yankee represents my X, so let's write our equations. I keep grabbing the highlighter. Here's my pen. So my equations. So looking at the first one, Yankees is my X, right? So in this case, the Yankee has won one fewer than 3 times the World Series by the Oaklands. So 3 times the Oaklands, well, Oaklands represents your Y's in this case. So in this case, 3 times X minus, sorry, not X, 3 times Y, because that's what the Oaklands represent as. So 3 times Y, but if it's 1 less or 1 fewer, that means I need to subtract by 1. So now I have equation 1 written. For the second part, it says the sum of the 2 teams, so the sum of the 2 teams is 35. So when you add up these 2 teams' winnings, you get 35. Well, in this case, X plus Y equals 35. Now that we have our 2 equations, let's try to solve for, in this case, our X's and Y's. So we can use elimination or substitution, but because in this case, X is already solved for us, so notice X is already by itself, I think I'd rather use substitution because I can take what X equals and plug it into my second equation's X value and then solve for Y. So I'm going to go ahead and do that down below. So what I want to do is take this x value and plug it into this, the second equation. So that's going to be 3y minus 1. So I'll write a note here so that you guys know I'm using substitution. So I'm plugging in 3y minus 1 into x, and then the rest of the equation is still plus y equals 35. So working this out here, we have 3y minus 1 plus y equals 35. Let's try to collect the like terms on the left-hand side. So you can see that the like terms are 3y and y. If I add those together, I get 4y. And then we just have 1 by itself, so minus 1 equals, drops down the equal sign, 35. Now, to get y by itself, I need to move the 1 over first, so add 1 to both sides. The 4y drops down, the 1's cancel. 35 plus 1, that's 36. And if I take a look here, let's move this up just a little bit so that we have more room. So to get rid of the 4 next to y, I need to divide both sides by 4. 4's cancel, so y is equal to 36 divided by 4. 36 divided by 4, that's 9. So what does this tell me? What does y equals 9 tells me? Well, going back to my variables here, y is the number of wins for the Oakland team. So that means that Oakland has won 9 times in the World Series. Let's take a look at solving for the Yankees wins. So let's pick out an equation to substitute my 9 in for y to solve for x. So the better equation to use in this case is going to be x equals 3y minus 1, because I can plug in this 9 into this y and then x is already solved. So I'm going to use the first equation. So rewriting the first equation here, we have x equals 3y minus 1. So I'm plugging in y. So working this out, bring down my x equals 3 times 9 is 27 minus 1. 27 minus 1 is 26. So it looks like the Yankees have won 26 times. Whew, that is one big number. Or at least I think it's a big number. So in this case, what you want to write here on the side is what the story was asking. So the Yankees, the New York Yankees, won 26 games, or times in this case, 26 times, and then our Oakland team won 9 times in the World Series. So writing something like a short sentence on how many wins they have is good. Okay, that's it.